Good afternoon, it's time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today, Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley has news from the Ponce de Leon Inlet about some major improvements there. And we'll hear from health reporter Stephanie Strong for her report on the Medical Sharps program of the Volusia County Health Department. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron for an in-depth interview with Joe Nolan, Director of Volusia County's Coastal Division, about the county's Coastal Reef program. We hope you'll stick around for those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Sports and ecotourism are very important to the economic development of Volusia County. But many people aren't aware of just how much Volusia County has to offer. That's why the county took the lead to create a new marketing tool to help tournament organizers and everyday people find park facilities. SportsVolusia.com is a new, all-encompassing website which showcases all of the facilities and assets throughout Volusia County. From baseball and soccer fields at the Ormond Sports Complex to fishing docks off of the St. Johns River. From golf courses to artificial reefs, the new website includes park details, photos, and maps. Tim Bailey, Director of Volusia County's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division, said the hope is that the site can be used as a tool by tournament organizers to bring sports and leisure-related events to the area.
What makes the site interesting is that you've got a one-stop shop to identify any of your recreational needs. If you're interested in fishing, you can go onto the site, click on the fishing icon, and every fishing dock in Volusia County is listed with an address, contact information. If you're interested in running on trails, you click on the trails icon, and every trail listed in the county is identified on there, broken down by city, miles, there's maps, there's pictures, there's directions, contact information, a little snippet of the site. It's very helpful. And, you know, in addition to that, there's a calendar on that site that you can select a month that you're interested in doing a particular activity. You could gather the information, either a spectator to go watch a baseball game at a certain location, either Daytona or DeLand or wherever, or if you want to participate. There's 5Ks, there's fishing tournaments, there's soccer and golf tournaments, so you can see what's available and then go and do it, either spectate or participate.
You can check out all that Volusia County has to offer when it comes to everything sports and leisure by visiting the new website, SportsVolusia.com. Residents and visitors are encouraged to play a role in preserving Volusia County's coastal waterways by participating in the International Coastal and Halifax Indian River Cleanup from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday, September 15th. This worldwide annual event, hosted by the Ocean Conservancy, features many locations along the coast for people interested in helping clean up the environment. This year, the Halifax Indian River Cleanup, historically held in the spring, is being held in conjunction with the International Coastal Cleanup. Over the past 26 years, more than 9 million volunteers have removed more than 145 million pounds of trash from 152 countries. Last year in Volusia County, there were 816 volunteers who removed 2,178 pounds of trash off of our local beaches.
Yes, this is the International Coastal Cleanup event, and we've been holding sites along Volusia County beaches for a number of years. But this year we're adding sites to include those along the Halifax Indian River Cleanup, which is normally done in the spring. But we've shifted that cleanup to join the International Coastal Cleanup, which will now happen every September. The most found item that we find on our beaches, unfortunately, is usually cigarette butts and food-related items like straws and plastic lids from soda pop cans, that sort of thing. So, you know, those small things are really playing a big role in the trash found on our beaches.
Over the last 26 years, Ocean Conservancy beach cleanup volunteers have collected enough cups, plates, forks, knives, and spoons to host a picnic for 2 million people. Volunteers can participate in the cleanup at locations along the Halifax River, Indian River Lagoon, and beaches from Ormond by the Sea south to Bethune Beach and Oak Hill. Visit volusia.org/cleanup to view all Volusia County locations and cleanup event details. Art and culture are alive and well in Volusia County, thanks in part to the county's Community Cultural Grant Program. The Volusia County Council recently approved more than $600,000 in grant requests from 32 cultural organizations across the county. The organizations include museums, art festivals, music and dance theaters, and historical preservation groups. Volusia County supports the arts in many ways. These cultural grants provide operational support that help cultural groups meet their day-to-day expenses. The county also has an ECHO grant program that provides funds for building and expansion. And we've purchased more than $1 million worth of artwork through our Art in Public Places program. This artwork is displayed in public buildings across the county. The Community Cultural Grant Program is open to 501c3 organizations that have been in operation at least 2 years and provide visual or performing art, literary art, or heritage-based programs to the residents of Volusia County.
The county supports the arts in many different ways, but with the Community Cultural Grant, it assists the cultural and historical organizations in day-to-day operations for their operational funding. And what they use the funding for is to produce programs for the community and educational or just informational programs.
Cultural programs in the county generate $26 million and employ 800 people countywide.
We've been very supportive of the arts here in Volusia County, and we're blessed with about 32 different organizations in Volusia County that contribute to the arts and our culture here in Volusia County. We just passed $600,000 for grants for about 32 different organizations in Volusia County. You know, Volusia County and the Cultural Alliance and the Cultural Council add so much to our quality of life here in the county. And not only that, but it attracts a lot of visitors here when they come, and so that's an economic development tool.
For more information about Volusia County's cultural activities, you can visit celebratingculture.com.
Hi, I'm Joyce Cusack, Volusia County Council Member at Large. As tough economic times continue, Volusia County residents and visitors are seeing the value of public transportation. During the last fiscal year, VoTran had more than 3.5 million boardings. VoTran offers a variety of services, including fixed route buses, a beachside trolley, van pooling, and a gold service for people who can't ride fixed route buses due to disability or age. At $1.25 a ride, VoTran drives a great bargain. For more information about VoTran, visit votran.org.
Boaters who use the Ponce de Leon Inlet now have a deeper channel to navigate through. Reporter Joanne Magley has more on the recent dredging project by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in this week's Volusia Here and Now report.
Folks who frequent the Ponce de Leon Inlet off the Atlantic Ocean may have noticed some guests going up and down the inlet multiple times a day for nearly a month. The Currituck Special Purpose Dredge and her crew from North Carolina spent about 20 days pumping sand out of the channel. Martin Willis is the dredge master in charge of navigation and dredging operations.
Our crew is normally a 6-man crew, so we'll have our district requires that we have licensed officers on board, much like an inspected vessel inspected by the Coast Guard vessel. So we have licensed officers, a licensed master, a captain, and a mate, second mate. We have a chief engineer, and an assistant engineer and a deckhand.
On this day, second mate Weldon Davis was in charge of the dredging controls.
As the sand comes in, water and sand, the water being lighter than the sand stays up and the sand settles, fills up the hopper. Water runs off through the discharges, very clear water. We do tests twice a day on turbidity, make sure there's no pollution, no silt going and bothering any marine life. And then we fill her on up till she gets full.
This special purpose dredge sucks up 300 cubic yards of sand 10 times a day, then takes it out about a mile south of the inlet into the Atlantic Ocean.
The Currituck was built in 1974 as a self-propelled split-hull barge and began her career working tandem with a side-casting dredge. After the side-casting dredge filled the Currituck, she ran to the near shore and opened her hull to deposit the material, then repeated the cycle. In 1977, efficiency was improved by converting to a self-contained dredge. The Currituck became the first split-hull dredge to operate in the United States, becoming a model for other large seagoing dredges built by private industry. And while the Currituck is touted as being economical and safe to operate, Master Willis says it's also environmentally friendly.
We're a minimum environmental impact in this operation. You know, being a small scale and not a lot of equipment to haul around.
Willis says they are required to stop the operation if they come within 50 feet of manatees. He also says because of the design of the suction arms, they've never harmed any sea turtles. And for the boaters,
the advantage to the public for having this service is, you know, it's a real safety issue, and you know it allows safe passage of the boating community, whether it be recreational boaters or any local commerce that's in the area.
Now that this federally funded project is complete, the Currituck is off for another mission along the East Coast and leaves the Ponce de Leon Inlet as a safer navigation channel. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
Needle collection programs exist in many Florida counties. These programs will help you with disposing of needles, syringes with needles, and lancets that have been used by you or a family member in treatment at home of an allergy, acute illness, or chronic disease such as diabetes. Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong gives us a spotlight of the Community Used Sharps Disposal Program in this segment of Community Health Matters.
Household-generated sharps include hypodermic needles, syringes, and lancets. They are typically used in the home for insulin injection or for administering medications to treat other chronic diseases such as allergies, arthritis, osteoporosis, multiple sclerosis, hepatitis B, and HIV. Do you know how to properly dispose of your sharps? Do not dispose of sharps by flushing them down toilets. Do not place them in cans. Do not place them in milk jugs. That's not environmentally safe.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Don't you know about the Health Department's Community Used Sharps Disposal Program?
No, I don't.
Well, I'm on my way to the Health Department now to turn my container in. Why don't you come along and I'll show you how the program works.
Okay.
It's easy. Turn in my sharps container.
Okay.
And this is my friend Ron. Can you explain how the program works?
Sure. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Monet.
Our program works when your sharps container is full. We are a drop-off location. It costs nothing to drop them off. We will dispose of them. You can buy another container from us if you'd like. You don't have to purchase them from us, but we do have them for sale for a nominal fee. I have two sizes, small and one that's a little bit larger. The thing that's pretty unique about these containers, you put the syringe in the bigger hole and you slide the needle over to the smallest point. You give it a good crack and the needle will fall in. the container, and the syringe can then be thrown in the garbage.
Managing and disposing of household-generated sharps safely reduces pollution to the environment and prevents injury and disease transmission from needle sticks. Never leave needles or syringes on streets, in parks, or anywhere else where they could injure someone.
I think this one would meet my needs.
Okay, that sounds great.
You've been more than helpful.
Thank you so much. You guys have a nice day.
Okay.
Wasn't that easy?
It was.
If you do not have a community-used sharps disposal program in your area, all sharps should be disposed of in rigid, puncture-resistant containers, such as liquid detergent bottles, bleach bottles, or metal containers. For more information about the community-used sharps disposal program, including locations, times, and hours of operation, please visit www.volusiahealth.com. For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
As always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. So now it's time to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron as he sits down with his guest, the Director of Volusia County's Coastal Division, Joe Nolan.
Well, thank you, Amber, and hi, everyone. Sport and commercial fishing is a major component of Volusia County's recreational and economic makeup. And as such, the Volusia County Council has made a major commitment to the continued growth of the county's offshore artificial reef program. These reefs have become so popular, the county appears ready to make an annual investment in further reef development. With us in the studio today for more on this subject is the county's Coastal Division Director, Joe Nolan, who's been instrumental in the development of the artificial reef program off Ponce Inlet. Joe, thanks for being with us today. It's nice to have you.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be here.
Hey, Joe, before we get into the artificial reef program and what's new with that, you know, the last time you and I were talking, we were talking about a federal fishing ban that I think that was going to affect red snapper, and there was a lot of concern about this, and of course the county beefed up the reef program and that sort of thing to kind of offset that. Whatever happened to that?
Well, the federal government and the Fisheries Management Councils for the South Atlantic backed off a complete ban of all bottom species off of northeast Florida waters. They had a 5,000 square mile area that was going to be off limits to fishing whatsoever, and but imposed strict regulations on a number of other species. And then for the last 2 years, I believe it's right at 2+ years, it's been illegal to land a red snapper on the eastern seaboard of the U.S., at least the eastern seaboard of Florida. There may be some other states that have slacked up on the rules for, but off of Florida, you're not allowed to catch a red snapper off the Florida East Coast.
In general, you're close to the scene here. How is the fishing off Volusia County these days? Pretty good, or?
The fishing's terrific here. We have great marine habitat. About 20 miles offshore, we have a lot of natural ledge. And then, of course, the artificial reefs, the 70+ artificial reefs that we've constructed inshore from 5 to 15 miles offshore creates terrific habitat. And the fishing is terrific, both inshore and offshore. The rivers, Mosquito Lagoon, Halifax and Indian River, Spruce Creek, Tomoka River, these are all fantastic places. Estuarine interior waterways that lend themselves to terrific sport and commercial fishing.
How have our fishing partners done, our charter operations, our fishing shops and that sort of thing? They weathered the storm all right?
I'd say the long-term operators have weathered the storm okay. Some of the operators that were only in business, and I'm thinking of some particular bait and tackle shops that had only been in business a couple years, 5 years before this recession we're in, haven't made it.
Okay.
And there's been a depression in the charter fishing industry in a big way, and the party boat operators as well. And it's due to the regulations and it's due to the economy.
Right.
The regulations have kind of influenced some of our drive-in visitors that come to this area that used to traditionally always come to race weeks and do a deep sea fishing trip at the same time, and that has gone away, it seems like. And it seems the perception in other states in the southeast is you can't keep anything.
Really?
The regulations or that you can't keep anything. So it has hurt the charter and the headboat industry pretty significantly.
Wow.
Off of Ponce. So we're hoping that will change, and maybe with some loosening up of the federal regulations, there'll be some more of our visitors will want to take deep sea fishing trips again.
The last time you and I were talking, that the main subject, which is our subject today, was these artificial reefs. And of course, the county council reacted very quickly to this proposed ban and felt like maybe if we can get some reefs created or some additional reefs created, that would help, But actually, the reef program goes way back before the economic downturn. I know you've been involved in this program for a long time.
Oh yeah, it really started, the real genesis of the artificial reef program came from the Ormond Anchor Chasers and the Halifax Sport Fishing Club back in the late 70s. And some of these local fishermen and divers were leadership type individuals that really wanted to improve the habitat offshore Volusia County and improve some of the fishing and diving opportunities, so they didn't have to travel 20 miles or further offshore. And artificial reefs had been constructed in some areas around the globe, and these folks had a great idea, and they secured a Liberty ship, which the USS Mindanao, which was a mothballed Liberty ship that they got from the military. And they raised the money and got behind it and engaged the county, or the Inlet and Port District at that time, and to assist them, along with the city of New Smyrna Beach, to sink this ship offshore Volusia County, about 12 miles to the northeast of Ponce de Leon Inlet.
How many reefs now does the county have, Joe?
Let's see, as of this morning, we just made a drop this morning at site number 6 northeast of a bunch of 36-inch culvert pipe. Let's see, I think that got us up to 74.
Unbelievable. I didn't realize it.
73 or 74, I think, was this morning.
Right.
Which was, that's an incredible number. Now, some counties have 200 plus.
Wow.
200 to 300 reefs down in Miami-Dade, right?
Wow.
Large ships and barges. So, and airplanes and all kinds of interesting things. So it sounds like a lot up here, and it is. It's a great number.
From a cost standpoint, to create these reefs, it's relatively inexpensive, all things considered.
It really is not that expensive. We
Right.
we pay for some trucking.
Right.
We often get material trucked in for free, and we'll do the offloading at our yard. And my cousins in the Road and Bridge division, great division, great professional group that know how to handle heavy equipment and handle these large pieces of concrete safely and effectively. And they have the right equipment that's reliable, and they're always there for me. They help me out big time. And we'll offload the trucks at our yard, so that the company that provides the material or donates the material, if you will, doesn't have to handle it at the yard. They can simply send a truck through, and we'll unload, and they can head back home. But we have paid from time to time for trucking to get more material in. And then we pay a marine contractor to haul the material with a large barge, a 30 by 140 barge, I believe it's 30 by 140, and a large tugboat. And they haul it offshore for $18.5 a load. We have a flat rate fee, and that's very competitive throughout Florida. I checked with all my counterparts around the state, and to make sure I'm on the right number here. And so for $18.5, we get a reef built. Thereabouts, there may be some trucking cost in there and some handling time, but on the ground. But otherwise, I would say it's relatively inexpensive for the longevity of the material on the bottom. I mean, we're building a reef that's about a half acre, and it's not going to go away for 50 years that we can see.
Where is the county councils appear to be headed with this program? They seem to be ready to make a long-term commitment here.
I think we're going to expand our permitted sites, and maybe even look at sites perhaps even very close to shore.
Okay.
Inshore, really close to shore. That I think would really pay off big time, right? Because you'd have really close spots to fish. So I think that might be an idea that whose time has come. We also want to expand our sites in some different areas. We've got 13 permitted sites. They're roughly a mile square, and then we make multiple individual placements within that. So,
I see.
So 1 mile square site might have 6 or 7 or 8 reefs and 2 shipwrecks.
I
right?
see.
And that's the way we've spread it out spatially, and that allows 6 or 7 boats to go to one site and not get in anybody's way. Everybody can have their own spot and this sort of thing.
I see.
And it spreads things out, and it provides the correct habitat
right.
assemblage, if you will, that where you've got some sandy space between reefs, and the animals migrate among
Right.
and between, and can exploit the sandy areas around the reef habitat. But I think we're going to. Mr. Deneen and the council really feel like this program, they want to make it world class.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we can get there. Maybe a couple more large ships in the right locations. As I said, maybe some closer inshore reefs that don't affect in any way the shrimp trawling lanes, but outside of those lanes, but near shore. So there's some innovation we can do there. There's a number of innovations we could look at in reef construction. But I think I'm seeing strong support to double the number
Right.
of artificial reefs for the next couple of years.
So if people want to go fishing, they want to find out where the reefs are and maybe get these coordinates, how do they plug into more information?
Well, they can visit volusiareefs.org on the internet, and there's a list of all of our artificial reef sites with the most accurate, up-to-date coordinates and a description of what we deployed. And that's managed by our Volusia County Reef Research Team. There's also the Halifax Sport Fishing Club fishing chart, which
Wow.
just came out. They just revised it. It's got all of our artificial reef sites as of a couple of weeks ago, because
Right.
we've been building right now. So we've got 62 or 3 sites, I think, listed on that chart, and all the coordinates are on the back of that chart. That's a terrific tool
Wow.
and a great chart to have. Visit the Halifax Sport Fishing Club website to find out more about how to get that. And they're another group that really helps us do a great job in this program and supports us in a big way.
And if people are divers, these sites are great diving
A
opportunities.
lot of great dive sites out there. We've got a number of steel shipwrecks and barges,
Wow.
which are just dynamite. They're just,
Wow.
it's such a great dive to dive down to a shipwreck, right? Because
Unbelievable, yeah.
sitting upright on the bottom, and this giant thing just kind of looms out of the murky, if you will, or the darkness. And it's just incredible to see this big ship on the seafloor and all the sea life around it. Large.
It's even better if you dive down there and discover a shipwreck and all of a sudden you're rich, huh? Hey, Joe, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information with us. This is really a terrific program, financed through the county's Port Authority, I believe.
Yes, sir, 100%.
Well, thanks for sharing the information with us, Joe. I mean, again, this is very exciting stuff, and the county council and the county manager seem very much behind it. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Dave. It's always great to be here, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about.
Our guest today is the county's Coastal Division Director, Joe Nolan. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.